All right, so just wrapped up Veilguard and thought I'd do a quick rapid fire off the cuff review. My history with Bioware and Dragon Age is I played some of their classics like Neverwinter Nights, dabbled a little bit in the original Boulder Gate 1 or 2, I can't remember. Dragon Age Origins, when I played it at the time of release, was one of the best RPGs I've ever played. The sequel, 2, was kind of a disappointment, but I still enjoyed it for what it was and think I replayed it 2 or 3 times. But Veilguard, the sequel to Inquisition, which I just played for a little bit but didn't beat or get that far in. But regardless, I was excited for new Dragon Age in the modern, graphics era with the new consoles and everything. So, what do I think of Dragon Age Veilguard? Well, let me list out the pros and cons. Pros are going to be pretty quick. So, graphics are great. Art style is questionable depending on, if you like what they were going for, but it's well done. Music was pretty good overall. Level design was okay. If you like God of War and kind of that feel, you'll feel right at home. Combat felt great and was weighty. Animations were good. The flow of it, the song and dance of the combat combos felt pretty good. And that's pretty much it for the pros. So cons. Oh boy. I think to sum it up in like one paragraph or a few sentences, because I've actually thought about this, having put 77 hours in the game, doing a lot of the side quests and companions quests, all that, it's just so average. It's just average in every sense of the word. And I think that's honestly painful because you'd feel zero emotional connection. Like I came away having finished the game and sat on it for a few days now, and I just cannot think of a single standout moment in the entire game. Nothing made me go, wow, that was fantastic, or damn, that was cool. It's been like 3 days and I can't even remember half the story because I was just, you kind of just go through the motions because it's just so badly written. And it's not like they can't deliver lines. Like the actors themselves, the voice actors are fine. It's just the dialogue is so bad. It does not feel authentic. It feels like actors on a set that are like forced to act and be nice to each other and like carry their lines, and it just does not feel genuine. And that's another huge issue, is the game is just too fucking friendly and PC, I guess. It's like no one can say anything like actually mean. The most they'll get is Tosh saying some shit to Emmerich, but that's it. Everyone has to get along, everyone has to love each other. You gotta, it's all about a team effort. Partway throughout the game, they start having issues and you gotta sort them all out like a fucking therapist. But yeah, it's just very inauthentic, and even a shitty game will make you actually feel something and you'll remember that. And with this, it just nothing, like nada, zilch. So besides the dialogue, the mechanics of the game, I wouldn't even call it an RPG. It's very surface level. It's a joke for 10 years. I don't even know what to say. Like, you have gears with basic stats. Your skill tree it's serviceable, but it's pretty shallow. You got a caretaker at your home base that can upgrade and enchant your gear. Again, just super shallow, basic mechanics. Nothing that hasn't been done a trillion times before. And remember, BioWare used to be the trendsetters. Very similar to Blizzard, how they've been just fucking up Diablo so badly. It still feels great, and it's got that polish to it. It just looks and feels amazing, but once you peel back the onion, just even a layer or two, that's it. You've already seen. Like, the game blew its load in the first 10 to 20 hours, showed everything it had, and then from there, that's it. It was just very repetitive. Everything that you would expect from the characters happen exactly as you expect them because they're so predictable. The villains were comically like Scooby-Doo levels of they're just bad, right? Just generic bad, no real ulterior motives. And I would joke about, silly things, and they would actually happen in the story, like not even long after I joked about them. And that's pretty much how I would sum up the game. Enemy designs were really bad, especially for the Darkspawn. The Venatori I liked because it's hard to fuck up humanoid beings, humans with the costumes and the hoods. Antam were fine because they had the helmets and they're the Qunari. Actual Qunari look like fucking shit. I don't know what the hell they were thinking of. And then you got your skeletons that look like straight out of World of Warcraft, especially the Necropolis, where you meet Emmerich, is literally like the Undercity in World of Warcraft. And I think that's just the biggest thing. There's no RPG mechanics. There's no player agency here. your dialogue options are going to be the exact same regardless of what you choose. It's just a matter of how you deliver it, sarcastic or more standoffish. And depending on the background you choose, like I did Warrior with a Grey Warden background, you have like 9 backgrounds. You occasionally have a choice to choose that background Grey Warden dialogue option, but it's all the same in the end. Very few actual meaningful choices. There was one somewhat early on where you choose like a city to save that has somewhat of an impact on just the city that gets fucked up, and that's it. Beyond that, I don't honestly even know if there's another one. So that's pretty much what I have to say about it. I came away beyond disappointed, and I actually initially had, like I had it like an 8 or a 9 because it just felt good. The combat was very much like God of War. It was fun and weighty. You were unlocking your stuff early on. You were exploring levels, and it has like a Metroidvania aspect where you unlock companions that have abilities that unlock other parts of the levels. You get like some loot, even though it was all shallow. It was like novel, and the side quests were decent, but just so quickly it just loses it. And then you're just going through the motions, and my god, the characters, especially Harding, for fuck's sake, sounds like she would say things like, "Oh yeah, totally," and the way they would just joke, the banter. Like, to say it was Marvel level is an understatement. They would just fucking say things, modern lingo. I'm not even talking about like the woke stuff, right? They would just say shit that like does not fucking fit the setting whatsoever. It's like you were to fuck around and joke with one of your friends today. It just does not. It's so immersion breaking. As far as the actual woke stuff, it honestly wasn't that bad. You have the mirror where you can kind of like choose to be trans very early on, and then I didn't notice a hint of any other LGBT whatever stuff until the stuff with Tosh way later on, because she's one of the last companions you open or unlock, and that's it. The videos you've seen on YouTube is it. That's the reason they're the only ones. So that's not even, you can feel whatever way about it, but the game barely had it. But the fact that they even included it was so weird, because aside from the banter being too modern in general, actually choosing to introduce LGBT themes in that way and using words like non-binary and trans just took me out of it even more because of how minimal it was. And when it happened, I don't know. Pretty much all I got to say. What a disappointing game. And again, to sum it up, just so average in every sense of the word, which is probably the worst thing you could say about a game. A game that makes you not feel anything because it's just so goddamn average is the worst. Especially considering how much money was spent. So I hope they do better with Mass Effect, because if they fuck that one up, that's it for BioWare. So that's it for me. I give it a 6 at best.